Transmitting to you from Old Heart Radio. Podcast last week. Sorry, hot dogs.
Classic fashion.
Wasn't a week off. Oop, take a drink.
My bad, folks. My bad. Here you go.
There it is.
There it is. It's a magical time. It's Matinee Edition.
We lost a podcast last week.
Oh.
Sorry, hot dogs.
Classic fashion.
Wasn't a week off. Oop, taking a drink.
My bad, folks. My bad. But either way, we're here now with episode 62. 62B.
62, take two.
Yeah.
So it's actually been like there hasn't been a ton of news that's been well substantiated, but there are a few things. Actually, we didn't plan this, but I started watching Kim's Convenience.
Oh
the
yeah,
past week
dude.
or so. It's fucking awesome.
I love Kim's Convenience. I've ingested all of it.
I like that the dude who plays Jung is playing fucking Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
That's gonna be sweet. He's hilarious.
And Appa was in The Mandalorian.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what actually got it like fresh in my mind. You mentioned that he was from Kim's Convenience.
Yeah, dude. Kim's Convenience is awesome. There's actually a new season that I saw just started. I don't think it's popping up on streaming anytime soon, but
Oh damn.
yeah. But I think once it's done airing in Canada, it'll eventually head its way to Netflix.
Make the jump.
Hell yeah, dude. But yeah, it's such a fucking good show.
It's a great show.
Yeah.
So yeah, watch Kim's Convenience, hot dogs.
Hell yeah.
Next up.
I totally, because I lost it on the last episode, HBO's got this dope show that we've been watching over called Warrior. It's basically like a martial arts period piece set in like 1878, I want to say. So it has a lot to do with like the different tongs in the San Francisco area, and it's fucking cool. It's got like some really awesome like martial arts choreography. The story is fun, I guess. It's very much like Peaky Blinders kind of vibes to it. You know what I mean?
Sort of criminal type stuff.
Totally.
Crime thriller, crime drama.
Totally. Yeah, it's like based off of like some Bruce Lee writings, and it's like a show. I guess apparently he tried to get produced back in the day.
But racism. All right. Shall we? So what was next on the list here? Harry Potter.
Harry Potter. Oh, we
brothers
always
might be producing a Harry Potter show.
Yep.
Go Hufflepuff. Hopefully, we get more service to them outside of Fantastic Beasts.
Do you think they're gonna bring Johnny Depp's Grindelwald back in the series?
Ooh.
Hot topic.
Actually, Grindelwald's gonna be played by Amber Heard.
Dang, that would be a fucking awesome switch. Nobody would be that bold though.
No. Mads Mikkelsen's much better.
Yeah, I was gonna say Mads Mikkelsen's in there.
He got cast, right?
Yeah.
Did we talk about that?
I don't think we did, but I believe he did actually get cast.
Yeah, he got officially cast, which is a good replacement. He'll fit the same vibe
for sure. But the live action HBO Harry Potter series.
Here's my question:
Harry Potter based series, because it could be in anything, not just Harry Potter.
That's a very wide world in the same ways like the Avatar universe is. It's ripe for spinoffs.
Totally.
Granted, there has been a lot of talk just among the Harry Potter fan base of people wanting like a Netflix style show. Because then you get a longer period of time and you're able to go into more than nitty gritty in the books, which is the criticism with some of the movies.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, that's like, one of the things that's always kind of off about movies is sometimes when they adapt books, they have to gloss over too much because of this time frame. But yeah, I think either way, delving into that world in a series of some sort is like a really smart idea, because that will give you a little more leeway to play around with like the different elements and shit.
Yeah, I mean, look at like Hogwarts Legacy, the game that's coming out, which is like 120 years before the events of the like books.
Is that the RPG game I've been hearing?
Yes.
Oh shit. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be an open world RPG that's populated by students at Hogwarts that are partially made up of other players. So That'll be sick.
That will be sick. But yeah, I mean that's kind of cool because especially because I think that the fact that they've only really done like Fantastic Beasts spin-offs as like the
Mediocre
only other
beasts.
like really like property outside of the Harry Potter franchise. It's kind of it's been kind of a lame duck thing, and they really need to like hop on that because it's rich as fuck.
We can do an entire episode on the missed opportunities of the Fantastic Beasts movies.
Oh man, yeah, it's true though.
It's true. So I really hope that whatever HBO ends up doing, if this is a legit report, does service to the property because it deserves respect. It deserves a level of care going into it.
Oh,
I mean,
absolutely.
like we talk about with Kevin Feige all the time, and like Dave Filoni for Star Wars. Filoni, they're like those guys. They love the content that they produce. They're fans of it. I think the Harry Potter community is large enough and it's been aged out enough that some of the people that were passionate about it as kids now understand the fundamentals of storytelling and are potentially in that industry.
Yeah.
So, and I really think like we've seen it. George Lucas fucked up Star Wars. like J.K. Rowling is out of touch with Fantastic Beasts. Filoni took Star Wars back and made it fucking work. And like Stan Lee wasn't writing any of the MCU films.
No.
Like it's people that love those characters but have a different perspective than the people that made them that create it, make it really interesting.
Hell yeah. And I mean, speaking to that, I just saw there's this new storyline in the Marvel comics that's about to start. It's the Heroes Reborn, and something that they kind of done before, but you know, they're touching like kind of redoing on it. But anyway, the writer, Jason Aaron, he was quoted as
written by Jason Aaron? Fuck
yeah. He was quoted as saying something to the effect of like I'm finally in this place where I can really like tap into like my childhood, you know, my childhood comic like kid, you know, who was like raised on this shit and like really start like unleashing the ideas that I want with these characters.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what you're talking about. It's like people that have finally like kind of aged into like those positions are like able to start like playing around with the world that they want to. And I bet you're right. I bet there are some like HP fans that hopefully can take a crack at that.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's what's exciting. You see like people making, like I was talking to Kate because she's an English major. She loves writing.
Mm-hmm.
She's talking about how so many authors that get big now are fan fiction writers that just started riffing on stuff that they already loved. And they got big and they got discovered that way. Like that's interesting, and that sort of feeds into this.
There's got to be a market for fan fiction of like really strange fan fiction, like
dude,
not like that dirty stuff, but like
not Rule 34,
but like take like Nicolas Cage's character from Con Air, and all of a sudden he's interacting with like Eddie Murphy's character from The Nutty Professor.
Dude, I was gonna say Harrison Ford's president from Air Force One.
Oh, they'd have to fight over that plane real hard.
Oh yeah.
But you know, like there's got to be a market for like really
100%
fan fiction.
100%.
That's interesting. Anyway, yeah, dude,
dude, and we've seen that bleed over into comics and stuff with like Batman and Ninja Turtles and that shit.
Oh, for sure. I was just recording a Coffee and Contemplation where I was talking about King Kong, and
good segue.
Oh shit! Well, unintentional, but yes, actually. And I was talking once again about how much I fucking love crossovers. That's like ever since I was a kid, like I love the idea of like random characters mixing, you know. And yeah. But speaking of that, yeah, we had a trailer drop on Sunday, yesterday.
Yeah. And we were recording this on the 25th of January.
And it was titled Godzilla versus Kong. And it was pretty fucking cool, if you ask me.
Yeah. Nothing like a trap song being played under giant monsters hitting each other.
Yeah.
With 11 thrown in the mix.
I forgot she was gonna be in there.
I know. I was like, I didn't watch I've yet to watch Kong Skull Island, and I'm yet to watch Godzilla King of the Monsters.
Yeah.
So I will have to catch up because that trailer looked dope.
It did, man.
It looks like exactly the dumb popcorn movie I'm down with. Oh,
for sure. That's exactly what I mean. That was what Skull Island was when it came out. I believe, you know, and I just rewatched it, and it
Fucking loaded cast.
It has some like some blah moments and weirdness, but like it for the most part is a pretty fucking fun movie. And Kong just like tears it up in that fucking movie. So like
he's fucking huge.
Yeah.
Like I didn't. And they had to scale him up.
That was one of the things that I talked about on Coffee and Contemplation. I was talking about how they made it a point in Skull Island to like note that he was essentially like an adolescent in Skull Island.
Yeah.
And so they're like
bigger.
Yeah. So he's, they theorized to have gotten bigger, and obviously he did because he's laying fucking like blows straight on Godzilla. Like,
yeah. What did he have? He had like a fucking axe at one point.
Maybe Thor lent him his, but
it looked like a small building with one of Godzilla's scales stuck to it.
Yeah, dude, it was gnarly. But I mean, I
was like, this is some crazy shit.
I almost guarantee you it's something that like the humans help him discover that like his ancestors have wielded in the past or something.
This is interesting. I mean? Yeah, they talked about how there's a war between like the kaiju and the and the Kongs or something, and they're the last two standings that got duked out.
Well, it's more or less like a war between like a variety of different like huge monsters, and Kong is just like like one of the species involved in that.
So what's interesting is the trailer really paints Godzilla as an antagonist. Like they show Godzilla ripping up a city for fucking no reason.
Yeah, but they also show this is where it comes into the
theory crafting.
Theory
I have a couple theories. You said you had one, so we can.
I mean, I really think that there's like shots of like Mechagodzilla kind of like hidden in there.
Wait, really?
And there's like schematics that you can kind of see on like a screenshot in one scene that like kind of like looks like the Mechagodzilla, and there's like this brief shot like right above the subway. When you can kind of see these like red and like silver going by, and like if you freeze it, it looks like it kind of looks like Mechagodzilla in a way.
So here's that's one of the theories I was gonna say. I saw somebody theorize that the Godzilla we see being a bad guy essentially is Mechagodzilla, and then Godzilla will pop up at the end of the movie and fight with Kong.
Yeah, I think it's something to that. I think it's something to that effect.
Yeah,
but maybe not. Maybe Godzilla's being driven crazy by something going on, and him and Kong duke it out, and then Mechagodzilla shows up, and him and Kong smack down Mechagodzilla or something. I don't know.
So here's my other theory.
Yeah,
I think Kong's gonna come on top here because he's yet to be referred to as King Kong.
Oh,
Godzilla's king of the monsters. You gotta strip the title.
Maybe. I mean, I think I love King Kong. I think he's like a really fucking awesome, like fun giant beast character. Yeah. I just think it'd be a real disservice to both those characters to assume that King Kong would be able to beat Godzilla, and that's the problem I have is that like, and they know this. It's like Batman fighting Superman. In reality, you got to find a way for them not to fight each other in the end because you can't ruin both those characters. And
or you take a scale from one of the overpowered side and you give it in the form of an axe to the weaker side.
Maybe
just like the kryptonite staff.
Gimli tossed his in, man.
Dude,
it came from somewhere. And my axe.
I have an idea. At the end of the movie, Kong's got Godzilla pinned, and then Godzilla says Martha.
Everything stops,
and Kong has an emotional meltdown.
Yeah. I just think, like one of the kind of big beast movies, the tropes that they look like they're playing on is that, Kong has like a bond with some small child. And
dude, that's my least favorite shit about these movies.
I was just going to say that. I was like, I wish they would have not bothered with that. But
again, Aaron Taylor Johnson in the first Godzilla.
Oh yeah.
And where it was like, why the fuck does this giant monster care? Like are their souls tied?
Yeah, exactly.
What's going on?
Like, either make some sort of like wild explanation that we can like willfully suspend our disbelief on, or like don't do it because it's just played the fuck out. But either way, they looks like they touch tips, so that's gonna happen at some point in the movie.
Here's one thing for me. I can give it more of a pass with like Godzilla and King Kong because they're more forces of nature rather than characters. It seems like. I think less so with King Kong. but more so with Godzilla. Like they're
Mhm.
so fucking powerful and they're so distant from the human form. What pisses me off is shit like Transformers not paying enough attention to the Transformers and just focusing on Witwicky. God damn it.
Well, exactly. Like, and that's, you know, that's what their danger of all those, like all these recent movies are. It's like they ride this line of like caring more about the human point of perspective than like just doing some sort of big giant monster movie. And
I want to see what your perspective is on this. I'm a Pacific Rim apologist. Not the second one, the first one.
I watched the first one like once, and I don't think I watched it ever again. Not with any dislike. I just sort of like, that was fun.
Yeah, it's a perfectly fun movie. That movie gets shit on a lot for some reason, but I feel like it does it nails the balance really well because the character is so tied to the conflict.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still fingers crossed waiting for that Cloverfield Pacific Rim crossover.
Oh boy, what the fuck is Cloverfield at this point? It doesn't make any sense though.
No. The last Netflix movie. I think it was a Netflix movie.
Cloverfield Paradox.
Yeah. It ends with like a giant beast coming out of like a fucking portal or something.
Dude, that Overlord movie. You seen that horror action film?
I have not, but isn't that a J.J. Abrams movie?
It is. It's produced by J.J. Abrams, and it has our favorite, one of our favorite actors, Ian DeCasticker, who played Fitz. He dies nearly instantly in it.
Oh, Star Power.
That was supposed to be a Cloverfield movie.
Oh, really?
It has no fucking connection to the rest of it, but it was supposed to be a Cloverfield movie.
Well, they start playing with the idea of like alternate times and stuff like that, and like realities. Speaking of,
I was gonna say we need to keep this moving.
Yeah.
But what a good segue.
What a good,
once again, unconscious.
We're just knocking them out this episode.
Professional podcasters here at Old Heart Radio. Let's
take
a moment to thank our sponsor, Instagram and Twitter at Old Heart Radio or Old Heart in Space, respectively.
Yes.
And
Oatly, God damn you. Where are you? We have to obviously talk about the first 3 episodes of WandaVision because the first 2 are, you know, they have like very similar vibes, and then it transforms.
It's like 50s, 60s, right?
For sure. And like there's definitely weird moments in the first 2, and you kind of keep getting this like,
specifically the end of the dinner scene.
Yeah.
Where it was where the man Vision's boss starts choking, and his wife is like a buffering computer that is unable to recognize that something traumatic is happening.
She just keeps creepily saying, "Stop it!" Like,
yeah.
And
God, that was fucking weird.
Yeah. And then and then further on you see like things like the sword agent coming through the sewer and Wanda rewinding the whole.
Yeah, that was in episode 2.
Yeah, well, and you know, it's just in general like these 2 episodes.
Like the radio and stuff as well.
Yeah, you have these really interesting like. I think I said it on the last episode, but you get these like really interesting like Truman Show vibes from like scenes like
the children.
Oh, exactly. You get these just like really strange instances, and like obviously they're building up for them like having kids, which
finally happened.
Yeah, which does kind of happen
in true sitcom fashion, where the baby is easily 6 months to a year old and is perfectly clean and swaddled as soon as it's birthed.
Yeah, that was a very good swap, I suppose. But
that's very 70s, because this episode we're talking episode 3. It was very much the Brady Bunch, right?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I'd say like the first 2 episodes were definitely like I Love Lucy, Dream of Jeannie,
Dick Van Dyke,
Bewitched, and then it transforms into like into like the Brady Bunch essentially, which is like, and they even used like a really similar font for the title and stuff like that.
Dude, I'm waiting for the Full House episode because that's coming, and I really hope we get a cameo of the other Olsen twins.
That'd be really that would be ridiculous, but that'd
be hilarious.
But like, you get glimpses of weird shit happening, and you kind of know that like some situation's going on after the first 2 episodes, and you dive deeper into that into the 3rd episode. but it's really centered around Wanda's like inexplicable all of a sudden fucking pregnancy.
Yeah.
It just keeps like getting, the
And
time just keeps going by faster and faster, it seems
I
like.
will say, if this episode's setting the trend, this show got much more unsettling, a lot quicker
For sure.
than I
And
expected. Like
yeah,
specifically, there was that moment where where Vision's like, "I think something's wrong with you, Wanda,"
mm-hmm.
and then there's a
it
beat
just
and
yeah,
it
it just
cuts
went, beep.
back.
Yep.
I honestly thought something was wrong with Disney Plus.
Yeah, dude, it was such a good edit. Like,
But it was fucking terrifying.
it was. She just immediately fixes the situation. Like he starts going down this path. She's like, nope. And again, you just know that like whatever she's doing, she's controlling this whole situation. It seems like outside of what perhaps some of the people around her. I don't think at the end of the episode, you learn that Geraldine probably works for Sword or Shield or something because she looks like she's blasted out of the fucking zone, and there's like a whole like military setup around this like town or whatever, right? But like I don't think she's the only potential agent in that situation.
Yeah, I think that they're like most likely. I think they're trying to send in agents.
Yeah,
and they're getting like pulled into the
like,
sitcom universe and like getting wiped and getting put into this mindset of this is their existence, because we see other characters like slipping a bit,
exactly. Like there's the neighbor, I can't remember his name, but he was like using a hedge trimmer,
like Stanley or something.
He was just like digging into like their cinder block wall, or not cinder block, but their like brick wall or whatever. And like it's like these weird glitches. But then there's like that Agnes character who shows up and just like, I don't know what she's like, why she shows it, like she just happens to be there or something.
I think I think
like
she's the we were talking about it last week.
Do you think she's like working? I mean, she's either working for, she's got to be working for somebody, I think, or she's like propelling the situation in general.
Yeah, I either think she is, because somebody's doing this to Wanda. Somebody's convincing Wanda that this is like somebody's manipulating her.
Yeah.
So I think I wouldn't be surprised if she is the antagonist. And like I saw somebody thinking that like, oh, maybe Sword's doing it, and I was like, I don't really expect that though.
I don't think that whoever's monitoring the situation is like forcing Wanda to do it. I think Wanda. Yeah. I think you're pretty much right. I think Agnes' character is like, it's like feeding Wanda something that's like making her like want to use her powers in this way.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Enchantress.
Yeah, Enchantress. That's right.
Because Kate, with her very keen eye, noticed that there is a green Scarlet Witch headdress in the end credits, which is associated with Enchantress. Right. So that's what I immediately thought.
Yeah, that's a good call. And I think honestly, and I see this floating around all over the internet, but I kind of agree with it. I think it leads to the inevitable next big villain of the MCU, which will probably be Mephisto.
Yeah, I mean, like if they're gonna do the multiverse, it should be Mephisto.
Well, Mephisto's always trying to get his hands on Wanda's kids, so
yeah,
like
dude, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if the kids die by the end of it.
I wouldn't either, in some like creepy Rosemary's Baby sort of way, where like everybody around them's like, for the children, and then like one of them eats the baby's arm or something like that. So, not that happens in Rosemary's Baby. maybe the director's cut. I'm just envisioning some weird shit like that. Like it's got to be. I don't think it's gonna end on a good note. You know what I mean?
Oh no way! It's all gonna go to shit.
And that's what happened at the end of this episode at the end of episode 3, right? It just gets like the sinister dial just gets turned up, and you're just like,
Sushi. It was pretty crazy seeing Geraldine like switch on when she mentioned Pietro and was like, Ultron killed her. Which I want to throw this out there. James Spader's credited as playing Ultron in WandaVision.
Oh yeah, dude. So I bet they have some sort of flash. Like
there's got to be something.
Yeah, because he was pretty formative in her like kind of like first using her powers. It seemed like.
So quickly, like I want to throw this out there. I wouldn't be totally down with Ultron coming back.
I wouldn't either.
James
Ultron's a really
James Spader was fucking wasted in Age of Ultron for just killing him there. He was so good. And also Ultron's like a big villain in the comics.
Yeah, dude. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like he could easily be a recurring character. But yeah, Spader, I wonder if Spader would be into doing that. I mean, all he'd have to do is do some like light voice acting, basically.
Yeah, he did mocap for the
that's right.
Ultron,
Yeah.
but then like that seemed to be extraneous for a character that didn't have any facial expressions.
Yeah, but I mean that'd be I bet we'll see like a little bit of his Ultron, but it was also just wild hearing her drop his name, in the context of the show, and you're just like, and then like, just Wanda's reaction to that, and then just booting her from the reality, like that was fucking trippy, dude. It was just like, dude, you're gone.
I mean, like it sort of confirmed one of my theories. We talked about this on the now lost episode, but my theory was that like Wanda had created a dome, and it was like a little House of M, where everything was in that dome was under her control. And she was suggesting this to everyone, that this is their existence now.
Yeah.
Like in House of M, it's the entire world. But I think in this context, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, totally. They do a really good job of kind of like taking some story elements and just, using them in different ways. But yeah, you're right. Like it's like, I can't remember the name of the town, but it looks like it's centered in some particular town. And, like I said, they have it looked like they have like a whole like surveillance encampment and like military.
They were fucking on Geraldine as soon as she got thrown out of it.
Yeah. I wonder if she's like aware of her powers and stuff at this point.
Geraldine?
Yeah.
I doubt it.
Yeah, because that's like, well, I mean,
I expected her to be an agent and then eventually because she's cast in Captain Marvel 2 already. So that's where I expected her to get powers.
Fair. I mean, I want, and I'm wondering where her character's at with that, but yeah.
Who was it? I'm just thinking of another character off the top of my head. I forget if they were going to be in Captain Marvel 2, but I saw some stuff about America.
America Chavez.
Yeah, America Chavez.
Yeah.
I don't know, and I don't know much about that character, so
I'm not like super familiar with that character. I was just reading something about it. Like I think she has like,
I think it's portals or something.
Yeah, exactly. I was just gonna say
she's a member of the Ultimates, so
teleportation type abilities.
She's a member of the Ultimates, which are like the Avengers on crack. So
yeah, the Ultimates, dude. I loved the first couple Ultimate series. I thought they were really dope when they came out.
Was it
just because it was like a way more like grounded but interesting.
Well, I'm not talking like the Ultimate Universe. I'm talking like
what are you talking about?
Like there's a new team called the Ultimates that are like, it's like Captain Marvel, Black Panther, Blue Marvel, and America Chavez.
That makes way more sense.
And like Silver Surfer, and they're just like other than Black Panther, they're like the characters that are so wildly powerful. It makes no sense for them to be on Earth.
Fair. Yeah, I was gonna say like that lineup does sound.
Like, I don't know much about Blue Marvel at all, but they're essentially the guys dealing with the stuff in deep space all the time.
That makes sense. Well, that's kind of cool. I'm interested.
And
also, they seem to be like pulling some really they seem to be pulling a lot of like interesting characters into potential TV shows.
Dude, I mean, this is a cool thing. Like WandaVision is so tonally different from anything we've seen in the MCU before. I mean, like we'll go back to the norm for a bit with Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but then we get Loki, and like I think the TV
Loki looks dope.
I know, it looks fucking sweet. I think the TV outlet gives room for more creative expression than the movies themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I think like Doctor Strange was getting a bit out there for the films,
Fair.
But then like you go to TV, you can pull off a lot weirder shit, and people will be down.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think it so far it's really interesting, and I've read that Paul Bettany was like doing an interview, and he was talking about how the next episode 4, they like even ramp it up even more. So it's supposed to, I guess, the next episode. That so far it's been really cool to see that. Like it's the first 2 is kind of like a subtle, like the weirdness got kind of like stranger in the second episode, but then the third episode it definitely like
Yeah, dude,
ends kind of sinister, and the next one's supposed to be even worse. So
if I'm like just thinking, if this is where we're starting with WandaVision,
yeah,
and we're 3 episodes in, it's already getting pretty tense at some points.
mm-hmm.
Like it's gonna be a fucking nerve-wracking show by the end of it.
Yeah, dude, I don't disagree with that, man.
It's gonna be like it's gonna be mind-fucking by the end of it. It's gonna be insane. Yeah. It's by far the most tense thing in the MCU so far.
Definitely. Like, cause you just know, man, it's just like, there's all these weird signs all around them, but you're just like, but you're really just like, what is happening? Like,
we're yet to be explained why the fuck Vision is there.
Yeah. I mean, exactly. Like that alone.
Like I doubt he's even real.
No, probably not.
Yeah.
Which would just be like in itself just fucking wild. Like,
you know what this makes me want to do? It makes me want to pick up that Vision comic run from a few years back. I think like 2015, where he makes himself a family and they live in the burbs.
Yeah.
Because I heard that that's phenomenal. And it's like even though it's a Vision comic, not a Scarlet Witch one, it seems like a lot of the inspiration is coming from that.
Yeah, I've been seeing like panels of that floating around and like
some crazy shit.
It would be kind of interesting to pick up, man.
Somebody saw the Grim Reaper head in the intro of the second episode.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Timer.
Oops. There's definitely like, I don't know. You just know some shit's gonna go down by the end of the season. This series.
Yeah. I think this is going to be the jumping point into the next set of the next generation in the MCU by far.
Hell yeah! All right. And speaking of jumping, we're going to be jumping off of this podcast. Make sure you're watching WandaVision because it is really fucking worth it.
Fucking awesome. Watch Kim's Convenience too.
Yeah, for sure. We gave you something on HBO, something on Netflix, and something on Disney Plus. All right, now you got homework.
There you go.
Catch the hot dogs. Do it all.
Follow us on Instagram and Twitter.
Oh yes, at Old Heart Radio. Oh, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube. Just look up Old Heart Radio. We're probably on that list somewhere.
Go to channels.
Yes, go to channels. And don't forget to call Dr. Oatly and tell him to give us free oat milk.
There you go. We need it. And if we don't use it, we'll sell it.
We'll sell it for so we can start. Oh, by the way, here's a fun tidbit for you, hot dogs. I have a friend of mine working on like 5 shirts that are gonna have